The Way of the Long Death is probably one of the more unique monk subclasses out there. It's basically emo kids grown up into monks. Hey fellow Game Masters, I'm Richard Quiner, and welcome back to the RPG Daily, your daily dose of all things tabletop role-playing games, helping you to build your world and master your game. And today we're talking about the Way of the Long Death. It's a weird one. It's a strange subclass, and that's how I feel about it. Let me know your thoughts on this subclass as I go through this video. Let me know in the comments below what you think, and we will get right into it. Monks who follow the Way of the Long Death are obsessed with death and how it works and what happens, so much that they will often be researching creatures or things and watching them die just to see how it works. But the plus side of that research and that understanding is they are more able to destroy their enemies with their control over death. That's kind of how this class works. It's all about necrotic damage and dealing with your enemies in a kind of creepy way. At level 3, when you choose to walk the Way of the Long Death, you gain the ability Touch of Death, which essentially lets you suck more of the life out of your enemies as they get closer to death. When you are in a combat situation and you reduce an enemy within 5 feet of you down to 0 hit points, you're able to gain temporary hit points. These hit points are equal to your Wisdom modifier plus your Monk level. This is a great way to just re-energize yourself a little bit after you've destroyed your enemy. At level 6, you get the ability called Hour of Reaping, which is more of a social ability. It's really creepy, it works well in combat situations, it allows you to frighten enemies up to 30 feet away from you, just by looking at them. As an action, you cause each creature within 30 feet of you to make a Wisdom saving throw. If they fail, they are frightened of you until the end of your next turn. At level 11, you gain Mastery of Death, which is an ability that allows you to postpone it a little while longer if you just don't want to die yet. At any point in combat, when you are reduced to 0 HP, you can instead spend 1 key point to be at 1 HP instead of 0. This doesn't cost you an action or a bonus action to do, you can just do it. And level 17 is the ability that scares me the most. This one is called Touch of the Long Death, and it allows you to channel death itself into your enemies through touch. As an action, you can touch a creature that is within 5 feet of you and spend between 1 and 10 key points. The target, the creature you're touching, must make a Constitution saving throw. If they fail that Constitution saving throw, they take necrotic damage. The damage dealt is 2d10 necrotic damage per key point spent on this attack. So that's anywhere from 2d10 to 20d10 necrotic damage put into your enemy just by touching them. That is a potential damage range of 2 HP all the way up to 200 HP. That is so much damage output in one little poke of a finger that I would not want to be around a monk that is the Way of the Long Death. It is creepy, it is weird, it makes me uncomfortable. This monastic tradition is really interesting to me. I don't know how to feel about the early abilities, but that last one, the Touch of the Long Death, is so powerful in my mind and picturing that. And maybe it's because I haven't played in a campaign where we reached level 17 yet, so we're still working on that. It just seems like a whole lot of potential of just raw output. At level 17, a monk has 17 key points, which means if they haven't been spending their key points, or if they're regenning them at their short rest like they normally would, they could potentially enter a fight with a whole lot of key points ready to just blast into their enemies. I know a 200 points of damage isn't always the most, there are definitely enemies with more than that, but I still think it's pretty high up there in the damage range. I think thematically, flavor-wise, this makes an interesting character choice. You can kind of be emo, you can be a little more... I like to think of the Crow. Now that I'm thinking about it, the Crow could be a Long Death monk, perhaps. That's my thoughts on it, but what do you think of the Way of the Long Death? Let me know in the comments below. I've been Richard. Thanks for watching.